It's huge! Welcome back, everybody. Joined by my good friend, Leanne Ellington, who I haven't seen forever, from NotYourAverageBootCamp.com. It's good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Thanks appreciate it. Thanks
Absolutely.
for coming in this morning. What do we got? Hopefully something low impact that will shed pounds from my body without doing much.
Absolutely. Well, as we kind of stress, you know,
really, you bottle that.
You know what? I'm a big fan of working smarter versus harder. So that's what I will advocate. Absolutely.
Fantastic.
So basically, we talk about pretty much every week how resistance training is one of the key components to shedding fat. Right. Okay, it increases your metabolism, it builds that lean muscle tone, all that good stuff that we're going for. But if you're anything like me, you want to work smarter versus harder and get more bang for your buck in terms of time.
Right.
So today I'm going to show some upper body exercises that you know, work multiple muscle groups at once, and you can kind of combine some exercises together.
With not, I mean, these weights are not heavy as 10-pound weight.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can grab higher ones. You can do, if you're starting out, obviously start low, because I'm going to show you we're doing a bent over row, which is completely against gravity. So if you need to kind of get your spine to work up to what your back can do, so start out with lower weights and then work your way up.
Move your way up.
And I just brought weights that I figured you could lift too.
Well, that hurts me, but we all know I could probably 10 pounds is way too much for me. Maybe
I'm used to being here with a bunch of females.
The 2 to 3 pound, that's
exactly.
that's my limit.
I'll bring the pink dumbbells for you next week.
It hurts.
So anyways, the first exercise is called a bent over row. So what you're going to do is your toes are facing forward, feet are about a shoulder width apart, and you're just bending from your hips so that your back is flat. You want to ideally be all the way bent over, all the way against gravity, because that's where the exercise is most effective. And you can grip the weights either way. There's a few different versions, and you're just simply pulling back and squeezing your shoulder blades together. Now on the way down, you're controlling the weight as opposed to just letting it fall. Okay, so you're completely controlling. Now your core is activating majorly, especially your stabilization muscle when doing this as well as activating the biceps and the back muscles.
I think when most people think about doing core exercise, they think about Pilates, maybe working with the large inflatable balls in a gym, but you can actually do the weights too.
Yeah.
Does it increase? I mean, increasing resistance, does that quicken the pace at which your core strengthens? I would assume it would, but
absolutely. Well, especially the stabilization muscles, because what are you doing just by standing up or sitting upright in a chair? You're activating your transverse abdominis, which is the stabilization muscle. Most people have a weak transverse abdominis, so anytime you can get it in is perfect, you know. So, and that's why the next exercise I'm going to show when you see it, you'll notice that maybe you've seen somebody at the gym doing it while seated on a bench. And one way to immediately get your core into play is to just simply stand up. Because right away you're keeping your body, your spine upright, and then holding weight on top of it, which you have to stabilize by not letting it fall down. So immediately activate your core by simply just taking an exercise that you do and stand up. So this one is a hybrid exercise, meaning 2 exercises together. Once again, more bang for your buck. So it's called a curl to a press, all right? Just what it is. You're curling, and then you're pressing overhead. And once again, lowering control on the way down. So curl to press. Now, one thing with the curl is it's very easy to let momentum do the work for you and let your body kind of lift it up.
And you can hurt your back that way, and it's not effective, right?
Exactly. And also your shoulder, what happens when you lift it up and you move more than just from the elbow? Your shoulder is a lot bigger muscle group than your biceps. So if your shoulder takes over and does the work, the biceps actually not even working, it's more your shoulder. So you want to make sure that your elbows are locked in at your side. You're just moving from the elbow joint and then coming up and getting your shoulders into play. Okay. For
something very low impact, what would you suggest per week? I mean, this type of exercise, what, 4 sets of 10, 3 sets of 8, 3 times a week? What are you looking at?
Exercise science tells us that the type of resistance training for fat loss is what's called hypertrophy. So you want to do 2 to 4 sets, maybe even 5 sets if you can. And you want the weight to be where you can get about 6 to 12 repetitions.
So this is not something that's incredibly difficult for long term, and you can do it, you know, a couple times a week, I would assume. You don't work the same muscle groups every day.
Exactly. 2 to 3 times a week would be great. And keep in mind that if you do have to go a week without training, your muscles won't detrain that quickly. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks to start losing muscle. But yeah, basically, and also females, it might sound weird when I said 6 to 12 reps, you know, 3-ish sets, because we're used to hearing really light weights, as many repetitions as we can. But that's actually endurance-based activity. It won't build muscle mass. It won't contribute to fat loss.
Fantastic. So, you got any classes coming up outside?
Today, actually, we're indoors now.
Indoors.
It's been a while, Ramin.
Indoors. It has.
We're at Legacy Gymnastics, 9 a.m. and a lot of things have happened. I'll fill you in during the break.
Fantastic. Sounds great. Leanne Ellington, NotYourAverageBootCamp.com. I always flub that, don't I?
No worries.
Thank you for coming in. We'll see you after the break.